This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Mike Murphy.
Once again, thank you, Charlie. Yes, I am Mike Murphy, host of the Good Neighbor Podcast. We talk to local business owners in Northern Kentucky so that you can get to know them as people, get to know their backstory, get to know them personally so that you care about them, you know, like, and trust them. And we do that through storytelling and education. So the person that I have with me today, she's a local business owner here in, Crescent Springs?
Crescent Springs, yeah.
Crescent Springs, okay. The owner of Derma Lounge.
Hello.
Amber Mehle.
Hi, friends.
Many of you know Amber, some of you don't. But by the end of this conversation, you'll know her at least a little bit better.
Yeah.
And so, Amber, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I've looked forward to sitting down and talking with you for a long time. You and I have been working together for a while now.
Yeah, about a year that we've been working together.
Right. And this has been on our punch list for a while.
Our to-do list.
Yeah, we're finally knocking it out.
Yeah.
I've seen you on the golf course handing out beers. I've seen you in your office being the boss mom.
Yep.
You know, the
boss
babe. And then
boss
I've seen you with your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen you with a dog.
Yes.
Okay.
With Luna. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to just kind of talk a little bit about all of that now.
Love it.
So let's let people know about you. Maybe, you own Derma Lounge, and
Yeah.
we're going to talk about how that all came about.
Sure.
But as the owner of Derma Lounge, what, I guess the question is, what qualifies you to run Derma Lounge? I know it's an industry where you've got to be heavily qualified to be able to oversee that type of program. So let's talk about that.
Sure.
So what's your background?
Sure. So I am actually a board certified family nurse practitioner. So I've been a nurse practitioner for 3 years. I did surgery nursing in the past, transplant, plastic surgery, worked at Children's. So I have a variety of other things besides aesthetic medicine. So I am a board certified family nurse practitioner, and I chose just a career in aesthetic medicine. There's a need for it. I have a passion for it. So that's a little bit of my credentials there.
Okay.
So I joined Derma Lounge 4 years ago. I was still a nurse, and then I graduated school, became a nurse practitioner. And then last fall, I decided I was ready to purchase Derma Lounge, and the previous owner, Santrina, was ready to hand off the reins. So with my experience, my credentials, my passion for it is kind of why I ended up taking over Derma Lounge.
Santrina's great, and we're going to talk a little bit about her later. Yeah, because she's a big part of the story.
She really is. Yeah.
And so I'm sure you guys have become not just professional, buddies, but great personal friends as well.
Oh, for sure. I reach out to her all the time with work questions, life questions, HR, how do you handle this? Or, what is with this account? Like when I first talked about BVM, I was like, what is this? I don't even know what this stands for.
Yeah.
So she's still been very helpful throughout the transition and, coming up on my almost 1 year anniversary of owning it, I still have questions. And we became very close personal friends. She's one of my best friends. Yeah. So we talk about all things outside of Derma Lounge as well.
Okay, good. So, you mentioned all those credentials and the nursing background. I know that with that comes a lot of schooling, a lot of testing. Yeah. And I would imagine that along the way, there may have been some tears. Is that correct?
A few is putting it gently.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went to Purdue and I graduated with a degree in animal science there. I then went to nursing school at IUPUI. I got a degree with nursing from Ooey Pooey back in Indianapolis. Ooey Pooey.
That's how I know it.
Yes, Ooey Pooey. So I got a degree from IU, and then I went back for my nurse practitioner from NKU. So I have 2 bachelors, a master's. I have a couple certifications under my belts. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of tears throughout that. I think the most stressful thing was actually the purchasing of Derma Lounge. I think honestly, school and clinicals, I don't want to say it was easy, but it just came naturally for me.
Okay.
And then actually the transactions and like learning the business side and learning like what an SBA loan is. I was like, I have no idea. I just need some money. Right. So anyways, I think school comes easily for me.
Mhm.
And I think all that just, mentally prepares you for the next big thing, which was buying Derma Lounge.
Okay. So I've always just known you as somebody with a big brain, a big heart,
Yes.
passionate. And so you got to be passionate about what you're doing. And so everything's led to where you are right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess the question is, why the world of aesthetics medicine?
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't really think about doing it until I worked for a plastic surgeon, and I loved surgery. I was in school to be a nurse practitioner, and I thought I was going to work in the hospital and be a nurse practitioner, do surgery. And then I started doing Botox and fillers with the plastic surgeon.
Mhm.
And I said, oh, I actually really like this. I like taking care of healthy people.
Mhm.
I love making men and women feel better about themselves. I remember one specific woman came to see me after her husband had passed, and she said, when I'm ready to come date again, I'll come see you for, some filler.
Yeah.
And a year later, she came back and she booked for filler. And I said,
Mhm.
does this mean we're dating again? And she
Mhm.
said, yes. So
Okay.
that's just one of the stories that kind of sticks out to me.
Mhm.
There's a big stigma, I think, with aesthetic medicine, talking about Botox and fillers, lasers. There's the stigma, and you kind of have to like, shh, don't tell my husband or don't tell my friends. And I just trying to like break that if you want to make yourself feel better and have more confidence about yourself, absolutely do it. So I'm trying to break the stigma and say that, it's something like it's a personal choice. It's a form of self-care. Not making the doctor seem so scary. I try to make it fun while we stay professional. All of us are Derma Lounge are nurse practitioners. So we definitely have the knowledge and professionalism, but I do try to make it a little bit more lighthearted and fun. It is a little scary when you don't know what you're walking into and you hear about Botox and you walk in and think, I'm going to get poked with 1,000,000 needles. You won't, but just kind of like making it a little bit more fun, enjoyable, not scary, not judging. Just kind of doing that for everyone is kind of why I got into it. Just making people feel better about themselves, including myself. I love a good Botox poke in the forehead there.
Well, the needle thing, some people are terrified of needles. And so you mentioned like, it's not always painful or scary, or whatever. I've seen plenty of people that have had, all sorts of treatments and it involves needles or whatever. And they haven't really even felt the needles.
Yeah.
So
and again, we are all very well trained. We also have other comfort measures at the office. We do have numbing creams, distraction, devices. I always encourage moral support. If you're new and you want to bring your friend with you, by all means, bring a hand to hold. You can hold mine, you can hold your friends. But yeah, we do try our best to make it more comfortable, especially for new people when they're not really sure what to expect. A lot of people see these things on TikTok and they think that's actually how it is, and it's not. So kind of breaking that, educating that you kind of just see the one-offs on TikTok. It's not actually how it goes.
Now that you are running the show there, are you seeing as many clients or a few less, or do you have your favored clients, or what's that look like?
I can't answer that question.
That's putting you in a bad spot.
I love all my patients.
Good answer.
Yes, thank you. I do love all of them.
Sure you do.
Yes, I do. So when I took over, I said I was going to step back a little bit from taking care of patients. That hasn't really happened because I just love it. I love my patients. I love, I joined the industry so I could treat patients and, be clinically there.
Yeah.
But I do step back a little bit, usually on Thursdays. I call them my boss babe days, where I do, like, I meet with you a lot on Thursdays. I have other meetings with reps. So I kind of save those. I am in a BNI chapter, so I save all my Thursdays usually for my boss babe time. But of course I still see patients. That's what I love. That's what I want to do. So yeah, but I had to step back a little bit just so I could run the business. And
because there's a lot that goes with that. Like you pointed out, there's contracts and there's, meetings with vendors. And,
And, I also have a business coach. So shout out to you, that I'm supposed to work on the business, not in the business.
Right.
So definitely taking that time to work on the business as well.
Correct. So, the history of Derma Lounge, you purchased the business from Santrina, and I know that she's still involved somewhat in the business. Is that correct?
Yeah. So she's still there 1 or 2 days a week. I'm sorry, 1 or 2 days a month. I said, you can come as often as you want to, so she still is involved. she has her own business called Chakra Nutrition.
Yep.
And between them and Derma Lounge, we actually combine beautifully. We co-refer for a lot of different things. So we have a few things in the works that we haven't kind of really talked about yet, but we do have a very good personal relationship. And then also a professional where the two businesses, like I said, they're coming together to help patients in the community with their treatments.
Yeah. So, this is your podcast, not Santrina's podcast, but
she's a very big part of the story,
though. Intimately tied together.
Yes, we are.
I just saw her the other night, and she's great, and she was kind of sharing all the news of Chakra and all that stuff that's upcoming.
The grand opening is Friday.
Yeah. So for those people that don't know, we'll just cover it real briefly. She was diagnosed with was it a stage 4 breast cancer?
It was metastatic breast cancer from breast to the bone.
Yeah. And so she had her own mindset about how she was going to take this on. And it was primarily through nutrition. And she's kind of went through course study and figured things out and kind of did everything she could to heal herself. And so she started a foundation that kind of helps others do the same. And then Chakra is a business in Florence on 42. I believe. Yeah. About to have a grand opening here.
Yeah. I'll be there.
Yeah. And I'm going to try to be, but I try to support, of course, you and Santrina in, any way that I can. But she, as you said, is a big part of your story and, you're a big part of hers and great friends. So I just wanted to kind of mention that, if you don't know Santrina's story, you can at least look into the foundation, Santrina Strong, and Chakra. What's the full name of the?
So her foundation is a nonprofit for those who also have cancer. So that is santrinastrong.org. And then her nutrition aspect is called Chakra Nutrition. So Santrina is also, just like me, she's a board certified nurse practitioner. And she went and got a certification in oncology nutrition. So if you guys have any questions, reach out to, I'm happy to direct you if you guys want to go through me, or just talk directly to Santrina if you do have any questions yourself, family members, friends that are going through cancer. She is a phenomenal resource to have. And if you have any questions or just need guidance, like she's your girl.
She's another professional with a big brain and a big heart. And she's just kind of found her calling, I'd say, in many regards. Yeah. So good for her. So if we kind of move a little bit past the business temporarily and talk about personal stuff.
Sure.
You've got a lot of stuff going on personally as well, correct?
A little bit.
Yeah. And I know you're a farm girl, and
there,
some of the story involves animals and things like that, but it also involves somebody that you are now engaged to. Is that correct?
Yes, this big old rocker right here.
Gotta show it off.
Hold on, let's go. Let's look real good there. There we
go. Shout out to Brad, right?
Farmer Brad is what we call him.
Farmer Brad. Does he wear overalls?
I've never seen him wear overalls.
Okay.
I don't think I would allow it, actually.
So he's Farmer Brad, but he's a little sexier than the hayseed type of farmer.
That's right. That's right. He doesn't wear a hat. So, but yeah, so we've been dating for 3 years and engaged for 1.
Okay.
So yeah, so kind of, I grew up on a farm. He lives on a farm. So that was kind of a fun little connection. So still go over to the farm and, help with his animals. And he didn't believe me when I knew what he was talking about on our first date. Looking at me, you don't think I belong on a farm, but I sure did. I moved there when I was 8 years old, and my parents still live there on the farm.
So your farming knowledge kind of sealed the deal as far as he was concerned.
It did.
Okay.
It did. Yeah.
All right. Well, again, things just sort of seem to work out the way they're destined to.
Yeah.
And that was a big part of how you guys decided to get engaged. And so when is is there a wedding date set?
We don't have one set. No, we may be one of those couples where we just stay engaged forever. And I just keep adding more diamonds to the band every year. I'm stuck with him. So
nothing wrong with that. You do things the way you want to do them.
Exactly.
But you've got a daughter and he's got 2 daughters, correct?
Yeah. So we're a blended family and we have 3 girls together.
Okay. Do you want to shout names out or?
Sure. So hi, my little girl is Harper.
Mhm.
If you guys were lucky enough to get one of the copies of the Neighbors of Union magazine in February, we were on the cover and we had the best time.
Yeah.
Nicole took like some amazing photos and we
Mhm.
got a few of them back and they're so good.
Yeah.
And then Brad's daughters, my stepdaughters, they are 13 and 16, Danica and Chloe. All three of our girls play soccer. So I'm a soccer mom and I absolutely love it. That's where I was before the podcast.
Yep.
So all the girls love farm animals. So they are in 4-H. So they show cattle and goats and chickens and we all play soccer.
Mhm.
So we are very busy toting all the girls around to all their activities. Chloe's just turned 16. So she's almost done with getting her license. So that'll take a little bit of chauffeuring off of our hands too.
Okay. Well, good. Yeah. As they say, they grow up so quickly.
They do grow up so quickly. I know. My baby's almost 7. I don't know where the time went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then when you guys have fun together,
Yeah.
when you're not working and, working the farm or working, on business stuff, where do you go? What do you like to do?
We both really enjoy, this sounds weird, but drinking. But honestly, we love tasting beer. So we love breweries. So any place we go, we will usually find like a brewery that he's never been to. And he has a little app that he tracks him on.
That's cool.
Yeah. So we like to do that. Every Wednesday you can find him and I usually tag along at the end, over at Braxton at Dewey's in Union.
Yeah.
They have Wednesday
place.
trivia.
Mhm.
So we always like to do that together. I'm not very good at it. I'm just there for the eye candy and just I sit there usually and keep working.
Okay.
But yeah, so we like to do that as well.
Do you at least play cornhole when you're over there? Because I think they have cornhole boards over on the grass stage.
Probably. I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
All right. Well,
I'm just there for the eye
so
candy.
it's just drinking and eye candy type stuff.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah,
I mean,
all right.
yeah, I love that for me.
All
Yeah.
right.
So no, we do. We like to just go out and have fun and. We don't get many date
socialize.
nights.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't get many date nights with the 3 girls. So when we do, that's kind of what we do.
Okay, cool. So you've got a pretty cool staff there at Derma Lounge as well.
Yeah.
They're always very nice when I come in, and they're professional, but they're very warm, helpful.
Good.
So do you want to shout them out?
Oh my gosh, I have like
what you got working for you?
Yes, I have the best staff. So first of all, big shout out to Kayla. She actually just graduated with her NP on last week. So she is just props to her. We've all been through nurse practitioner school and she just finished. So congratulations, KK. We're so excited for you.
KK, huh?
KK, I call her KK.
Okay.
My daughter calls her Aunt KK.
Okay.
So we have a bunch of other nurse practitioners. So Stephanie is another full-time. She is our laser queen. So anything that needs lasered, your hair removal, your sunspots, your veins, anything like that. Stephanie is absolutely the best. My patients will want me to do their lasers and I say, no, you don't. You want Stephanie to do it because she's much better than I am. So Stephanie is amazing. She's so good at her job. Of course, Santrina is still there every now and then. We have a couple PRN nurse practitioners that will help with some Botox parties. Rachel is our esthetician, so she actually has her own skincare line that's clean and natural that we incorporate at Derma Lounge.
Okay.
So we love having Rachel there as well. And then shout out to the front desk girls. I wouldn't do my job without them. They're the ones booking the patients. They're greeting the patients, making sure that they don't need anything while if I run behind. Melinda, everyone loves Melinda. She is the older bombshell that everyone knows and loves. She actually used to work with me at my old office. So when I came to Derma Lounge, we needed a front desk person. I called Melinda. I said, hey girl, we're hiring. You want to come work for me? So she did. So Melinda's been with me. And then I have sweet Sonia. She is our little sassy Canadian. So she also joined our team back in the fall. So it's great to have just very solid staff where I can rely on them. I can delegate to them and I can go on vacations. I actually went on spring break and I really didn't have to worry about anything because the girls are just solid and they took care of the business just fine.
And you all clean up very well. I've seen your staff photos and they look phenomenal.
Yes. And everyone is very pretty, very gorgeous. Everyone takes care of themselves. So we all have big brains, big hearts, and we're all very beautiful. Yeah. So I love.
I'll agree.
Yes, I love my team. Derma Lounge wouldn't be Derma Lounge without them.
There are times when I've been in the office and I hear 3 phone calls coming in and how you and your staff interact with people that call in.
Yeah.
Even if they just have questions and they've never been there before, or maybe there's somebody that's been there that's, you know, been an ongoing client. You guys always handle them so well. I guess what was impressive was you were treating them as though they were family.
Yeah.
You know, just the way you talk to them and interact with them.
Yeah. Well, and some of them have become family. Derma Lounge has been almost open for 7 years in October. So like I said, I've been there for 4. Stephanie's been there for a little over 4. So some of these patients have been with us since day one, and with me since 4 years ago. So it is, you know, you see these patients, we have some that are monthly members. So we see them every 4 to 6 weeks for the last 4 years. So definitely some of these people, we know all about them. We know their kids. We support them. One of my patients, her son was in the Chicago musical over at Dixie, and I wanted to go support her. So my Harper and I, we went to go see Chicago and support her son. So it's cool. Very loving relationships. We are generally excited when we see your sweet little face walk in the door and get excited to see you guys.
So speaking of Harper, do you foresee her growing up in the business eventually, or are you just going to be, hey, do what you want to do, Harper?
Well, she's 6, so every time I ask her, it's something different. Right now she wants to be a teacher, but you can ask her, you know, a week ago, she wants to work with mommy and be a doctor. So, you know, whatever she wants to do, there's actually entrepreneurs in our family. My dad is one, my brother is one. So we all have kind of that drive and that ambition and passion. So it wouldn't surprise me if she's like her mom. You know, I really preach to her that, you know, I work hard and then we benefit from it. So I'm all about, you know, she comes to the office with me. She'll help around the office, and she sees me work, and, you know, sometimes I have to work late or come late to soccer games, but just kind of showing her that, like, women can do anything. And, you know, here I am, I'm going to tell my age. I'm 37. Here I am late. I bought a business at 36. So she can do it too.
Yeah. And I just kind of wondered, because she's so immersed in that business alongside of you, seeing it, you know, up close and personal. I just kind of wondered if she's just not naturally going to end up there. But, you know, I would assume, you know, with your education background, or, you know, at least your scholarly background, let's say, going to school, that you're probably going to push her to just go and get an education first and then figure out how you want to. Definitely want to support her with whatever she does. I always joke that if she goes to Purdue, I'll pay for it, since I'm a Boilermaker. I said, you have to go to Purdue. So that's where I went, and, you know, but I support whatever she chooses, you know, where we work hard so that we can save and have her have a good education and kind of set her up for a solid career in the future. Yeah. So, what have we not covered? I think there are certain things that I try to ask, like, you know, like, what have you developed as, like, your personal philosophy for success, or secrets of success, or if you're giving somebody, you know, let's say, you know, it could be a young woman or a young male, whatever, I don't care, but just somebody who's kind of entrepreneurial minded like you.
Yeah.
What's sticking out to you as one of the secrets to running a successful business or finding your passion?
Yeah. For me, I was kind of raised that way. So, I mean, I learned the value of hard work very early. So again, grew up on a farm, so always doing that. So I really learned that dedication, and, you know, you have to get some of these things done. So I was raised to be a very, very hard worker. So I think that kind of that work ethic has really just incorporated into all of the things. So just working hard, finding good mentors. So for me, it was Santrina. Also, my dad is a huge mentor. He's a very big businessman. So any business stuff, I always ask him, because I don't know.
It's good to have him to call on. And,
yeah.
you know.
I'm a clinician, so I can do medical things, but sometimes when you're talking to me about something called EBITDA with taxes, I was like, I have no idea what that means. So just having, you know, good mentors. And also, you know, I didn't just jump up and buy a business right out of school. Not saying that you can't, but for me, it was very beneficial. I learned from other people. So I worked in hospitals. I took classes. I did all of this stuff. So I think just getting years of experience under my belt, finding those mentors, and just really having a good work ethic was just solid for me. And just getting your passion and making it show. So Santrina saw I was passionate about the industry and about watching Derma Lounge succeed. I put in countless hours, not clocked in, not getting paid, just to help Derma Lounge grow. Yeah. So some of those things to help you succeed, you're not going to get paid for right off the bat, but in the end, it'll all be worth it.
Yeah. Before you bought into the business, I would see you up there sometimes with Harper, and I think your dog was up there. One day when we did a photo shoot up there.
Yes. So that was one of Santrina's photo shoots. And so I popped in to support her, and Harper and Luna, my dog, were up there.
I've just always seen you kind of pitching in to do whatever was necessary in the moment. So you seemed to be sort of I guess like her right-hand person.
We're definitely work wives. Even though she's not there all the time, she's in my phone as Santrina work wife. And she always will be.
Good. All right. So is there anything that we haven't talked about before we start getting into like how people contact you, where you are, all that stuff? Anything that we haven't discussed that you want to make sure we do talk about before we sign off?
I don't think so. I think just in general in my industry, when people are looking to get things done, if you don't choose Derma Lounge, just make sure you choose wisely. There's a lot of people that can say they do, Botox and fillers. Just make sure you do your research. Everyone at Derma Lounge is a nurse practitioner. Kayla's almost board certified. She just graduated, so she's not board certified yet, but we are all board certified nurse practitioners with years of experience. So just don't find the best deal, because you're going to regret it, and then you're going to come to me to fix it. So just do your research. Make sure, that you are going to someone qualified. Read the Google reviews. Just do your homework before you let some person like stick you with a needle in your face.
Yeah, because bad things can happen if you've got the wrong person.
It is medication. We are nurse practitioners. We're prescribing a medication for you, and we're administering it.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
I do have one question for you that I just thought of, and that is, I'm kind of curious. What is your favorite procedure, your personal favorite procedure to perform? What is it?
Yeah. So like I said, Stephanie is the laser queen. I love all of the injectables. So I do all of the advanced injectables like Sculptra, full face filler. I do like the PDO threads where you see them and they just lift your skin. So my favorites are doing Sculptra and full face filler, where I'm doing 6 to 8 syringes of filler. It's very satisfying. It's instant gratification. So those are some of my favorite things to do. So when I see that on my schedule, I just get so excited.
Do you have a really happy story to share? Maybe a client that's just, was over the moon, or somebody that you were able to help and it just touched your heart, or anything like that?
So I'm very blessed. My reps took very good care of me and helped sponsor events. And, one of my patients had been wanting to do lip filler for a long time, and she had been saving, and she ended up doing a promo we were running called Kiss the Card in February. So you kiss a card, and Farmer Brad actually chose the lips, and he chose a patient that had been wanting filler for years. I've known her for 3 or 4 years. So we chose her, and I was just thrilled to be able to do her lips because she won the contest. So
that's cool.
It's just getting to know, like I said, I've known some of these patients for 4 years. So getting to know your patients, their struggles, and making them, feel better, post-divorce, they're sad. They want to get, a syringe of lip filler. They want to get rid of their 11. So just kind of helping the women feel beautiful, feel confident, because everyone is beautiful. Sometimes they don't realize it, and they need a little kick in the tush from me to realize that you're beautiful even without Botox. But if it makes you feel even better, I'm here for you.
Yeah. Like the woman that was starting to date again, and she just needed a little confidence booster.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, our time together is wrapping up, but I want to make sure that before we go, people know where Derma Lounge is located and how to reach Derma Lounge.
For sure.
And, whether that's the phone number, website, whatever. There's a lot of tentacles that reach back to you. So let's talk about
I'm the head of the octopus, and all the tentacles come to me.
Correct. So let's talk about
So first of all, you can go to our website, mydermalounge.com. through there, you can book appointments. You can see what services we offer. You can shop, so you can buy gift cards. You can buy skincare products through all of our websites. Our email is information@mydermalounge.com. So someone always reads that and responds to it. So we can respond to you anytime. Follow us on Instagram. So it's @mydermalounge. You can also just follow mine. It's some stupid stuff I also post, but
we all do that though.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what it's for.
Exactly. It's NP_Amber_Derma Lounge. That's mine.
Okay.
Facebook again is Derma Lounge. So we post stupid, silly videos where we have fun. We post educational things. We post before and afters. Make sure to follow us because that's where you're going to hear a lot about events. So fun events that take place, any discounts or sales, flash offers that pop up. So the best way to follow along is going to be through our social media platforms. That's where we kind of post all of the things. And then that's where you also get to see all of the staff. So you'll get to see videos of Stephanie doing lasers, of Kayla doing lips, of me doing something. So just it's a good way to kind of see the staff. You know, if you only see me and you're like, who is this Stephanie person that you talk of? I was like, that's amazing. Yeah. Here's Stephanie. So it's just a good way to kind of like see who the staff members are as well.
I've seen a lot of fun videos that you guys have put out. I'm not going to say anything more other than because I want people I want to pique their curiosity so they go and see for themselves.
Yes. They're really fun to film.
I want to make sure that we get the phone number out there.
Yeah.
So that it's in the transcript.
Yes, for sure. So our phone number is 859-360-5842. So you can call or text that number to schedule an appointment or have any questions. That's the phone number.
Perfect. Well, it struck me a couple minutes ago that you and I are kind of in the same business. I make people look good too, and it's called Photoshop.
Mine is natural Photoshop.
Yeah, mine comes in a software that I pay heavily for, but it's a godsend for me anyways.
Yes.
So, all right, well, that wraps it up.
Yay.
I mean, this was a fun conversation.
It was.
I'm glad we got to
finally. Like I said, we've been working together for almost a year, and this has been on our to-do list since I think our first meeting.
We're just two very busy people, and kind of neighbors. I mean, you just said you had no idea how close we live there. Yeah. We always see each other in offices. We never really get to see each other. So here.
Yeah, I finally got to come to Mike's house and film the podcast.
Yeah. So welcome to my basement.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
All right. Well, everybody, that wraps it up for the latest episode of the Good Neighbor Podcast. Amber, thank you for visiting with us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. This was fun.
Yep, I enjoyed it. So all of you out there, go to My Derma Lounge.
MyDermaLounge.com is the website, or go to My Derma Lounge on Instagram and on Facebook to stay up to date with all of the latest and greatest.
Cool. Well, hopefully all the discussion we had today whets your appetite for all that. So visit Amber, and we may have another follow-up episode one day. You never know, because now that we know we live so close to each other, you can just come on over and do a podcast whenever you feel like
That's right. You have bourbon and I'll be here.
Yeah. Yep. Well, we know you like to drink. We've already established that.
That's true.
Maybe we'll make a TikTok together someday or do some sort of Instagram collab or whatever.
Cool.
All right. Everybody, thank you for joining us on this most recent episode of the Good Neighbor Podcast. Until the next episode, everybody out there, be good to your neighbor. See you all. Bye.